Maybe you're considering a move to the South or have Florida or South Carolina on your mind. Now, if you're trying to figure out which state is truly better for you, you might have a coin toss, right? Factors like real cost of living, taxes and insurance costs, plus the overall quality of life, this stuff is super important. And that's why I'm making this video. It's to educate the public and to save you guys the costly pitfalls. So without further ado, here we go. Number one, the cost of living. So you want to see this. The actual national average, the cost of living index, sits at 100, right? So South Carolina comes in at 87.5%, means you're going to be spending approximately 12.5% less than the average American living somewhere else. In the meantime, Florida's cost of living index sits at 102.8. That's slightly above the national average. So in terms of overall affordability, South Carolina could be a better option for you. So let's take a look at home prices. In areas like Greenville or Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, you're going to find a comfortable 3-bedroom home in a good neighborhood for around $300,000 to $350,000. But if you're buying that same house in Florida, it's going to cost you between $400,000 and $450,000. And also in Florida, homeowners pay much more in insurance, in homeowners insurance premiums, due to flood risks and living in the #1 hurricane state. Now, the average property insurance in Florida ranges between $3,000 and $10,000 annually. And South Carolina, you're going to be looking at a much more manageable $1,500 to $2,000. But one benefit of living in Florida is that it doesn't have a state income tax. This is really good, right? Because it's going to save you a lot of money. But on the flip side, you're dealing with higher property taxes and all kinds of added taxes and expensive insurance packages. So next up on our list is number 2, taxes, right? So if you're living in South Carolina, the state does have an income tax, which ranges between 0% and 7% depending on what income level you have. But if you're a retiree, you're going to get some advantages here. First off, Social Security benefits are completely tax exempt. So if you're over 65, you can also deduct up to $10,000 of retirement income. And one big draw for retirees is that property taxes in the state of South Carolina are the 5th lowest in the nation, and that's a big win. Meanwhile, Florida has no taxes on pensions, Social Security, or other retirement income. This is a big reason why a lot of people move to Florida. However, property taxes in Florida are much higher, almost double the amount of South Carolina. So a lot of times when you add up all the taxes, the property, the sales, everything, South Carolina can be healthier on your bank account. Number 3 is healthcare. Now, urban areas of South Carolina, in places like Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or Charleston, or Greenville, you're going to find some seriously impressive medical facilities. And these cities actually have some of the best rated hospitals in the Southeast. And this includes MUSC Health in Charleston. So if you're living close to one of these cities, access to fantastic healthcare is not an issue. But once you move away from these urban areas, I'm just going to tell you that healthcare access can be more challenging. In rural areas in South Carolina, they don't feature as many specialists. So if you live in one of these rural areas and you have specific medical needs or certain types of specialized treatments that you may need, you're going to be driving further. On the other hand, in Florida, places like Miami, Tampa, and Orlando is home to some of the top-tier hospitals, including the Mayo Clinic of Jacksonville and the Tampa General Hospital. With that being said, many retirees also tell stories of the drawbacks of Florida healthcare system. Look, Florida has a large retiree population, so the demand for medical services is always going to be high, and this leads to long wait times for appointments. So even routine checkups, you might be sitting in line waiting. Smaller towns and rural areas of Florida also have fewer specialists and medical options. And number 4 is climate and weather. So summers anywhere in the South, it can get hot down here, guys. But in South Carolina, the coastal areas do have a nice cooling effect from the ocean breeze. And winters are mild enough that you rarely are going to see any snow. But if you go further inland areas in South Carolina, in places like Greenville or Columbia, they tend to be cooler in the winter months. And the state of South Carolina also has 75% fewer hurricanes than Florida does. On the other hand, Florida, you're going to enjoy mild winters, and I'm talking about really nice weather. But summers can get really hot and humid. So the extreme weather in Florida has given it the distinguished name of the lightning capital of the United States due to its frequency and lightning strikes, especially during the summer months. Other weather-related issues in Florida make it the #1 state in the nation for hurricanes, which are more frequent and more severe here, so it often leads to evacuations, power outages, and even extensive repairs. So if you're looking for a warm climate and you're okay with dealing with extreme weather, Florida is the choice here, guys. But if you're looking for a balanced climate with fewer hurricane-related headaches, South Carolina might be a better fit. Number 5 is recreation and lifestyle. You see, more than 1.5 out of 4.6 million people living in South Carolina are over the age of 50. And there is a good reason for this. South Carolina has a laid-back environment, which especially is geared towards the retirees. So if you're someone who enjoys small towns or the beauty of nature, this is the state that has plenty to offer. And Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for example, has over 90 golf courses and lots of beautiful beaches, and 1,700 restaurants and lots of other things to do. If you're into hiking or kayaking, the Blue Ridge Mountains and the state's waterways provide endless opportunities for outdoor activities. And this slower pace and less crowded environment makes it a great option for those who are looking to spend their retirement period just relaxing. Now, Florida, on the other hand, is a completely different vibe. This place is for people who want an active lifestyle, and this is for both retirees and families with kids. Locals say the tourist-heavy areas feel crowded, and especially during the busy winter months when the snowbirds arrive. And the lively atmosphere is great for some, but it may not be ideal if you're looking for a slower pace of life. Number 6 is traffic and congestion. Now, South Carolina's traffic outside the big cities is considered light, but if you move to cities like Charleston or tourist hubs like Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, you may see more moderate traffic patterns. And sure, you may encounter some delays during peak tourist seasons or rush hours, but overall, commuting and getting around the state is pretty manageable. And most suburban and rural areas have minimal congestion, making it an ideal option for families and retirees who do want that quieter or more slow pace of life. While Florida, cities like Miami, it's great to be there because there's a lot to do and it's hustling, bustling. Orlando, Tampa, also known for their heavy traffic, car wrecks, and longer commutes. So if you're considering Florida and traffic is on your mind, traffic is definitely something to factor into your decision, especially if you're doing a lot of traveling. And Florida's overall lifestyle, really, it could be more appealing. So ultimately, it comes down to your priorities and how much money you have and what you want to do with your lifestyle, because both states, they have unique advantages and they both come with their trade-offs too. South Carolina could be perfect for those who are looking for a more relaxed pace of life with lower cost of living, lighter traffic, and a quieter, more natural feel. Florida, it's great for winter warmth and tax-friendly policies. Now, if you're looking for a socially active environment, Florida could be that fit for you. However, you're going to need to factor in the higher cost of living, the future increases of car and homeowners insurances, and the constant threat of hurricanes. So at the end of the day, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Consider what aligns with your financial goals and your future needs. So you got to do your research, guys, and I've said this before, you don't want to limit this to your Google search because that's not research. Get boots on the ground, understand it, see it, feel it, touch it. Make sure that you learn all about the community and all communities in that area before committing. So I just want you to know how much I truly do appreciate you, and I want to say thank you. There's over 1,400 super helpful videos here on this channel, and I'm making these videos here for you. And my real estate team is here to help you find your hidden gem and to avoid those pitfalls that are costly. So if you're thinking about buying a house in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or anywhere in the United States, we can hook you up with that local expert. Just pick up the phone, give us a call at 843-839-9870. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking and what you're doing. I'd really love to know. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.